Hey, it's Jeff Waite here with stockideas.org, and today I am going to do a book review of 100 to 1 in the Stock Market by Thomas W. Phelps. This is the story of a distinguished security analyst tells how to make more of your investment opportunities. Sounds good, doesn't it? So just a little background on this book, actually. It was originally published in 1975, I believe, when it came out for the first time. 1972, my apologies. And it was actually a book that was in such high demand that, it went out of print, and it was selling, copies of it, used copies, were selling on Amazon for like $600. So finally, the publisher, Echo Point Books, decided to print another edition of the book. And that's what I have here in front of me, the new 2014 edition of 100 to 1 in the Stock Market. I just finished reading it, and I highly encourage you to check it out. So what's this book all about? Well, as the name sort of gives away, it's about finding stocks that will go up in price by a factor of 100. So you're looking for stocks that'll go from $5 to $500. What's not to like about that, right? Exactly. So the book, the author, I guess I'll start with the author, Thomas Phelps. You might not have heard of him. He was a successful investment analyst, broker, private investor, writer for numerous financial publications like Barron's and the Wall Street Journal. And this book was sort of written towards the end of his career. And it's almost as if the author is reflecting on how he would have loved to do this better than he actually did. He certainly was a successful investor, but he's, pretty modest and quick to say, I wish I had done this better, and hopefully you can learn from my mistake. So the book shows a number of stocks, I think 365 of them, that, between the years sort of 1920 and 1930, that went up 100-fold in price between sort of 1930s, 1940s, and 1972 or 1971. So, the book kind of tries to, first it's saying, there are a lot of stocks that will go up a lot. And if you just buy the right stocks and hold on to them, you can make a lot more money than any other approach in the stock market. And then, the book also talks about some of the philosophy around buy and hold investing, and how to find stocks that are cheaply priced and that have a lot of growth potential. Now, this book is only about 230 pages, and it's not an investment analysis textbook. In fact, at one point in the book, he says, I refer you to Security Analysis by Graham and Dodd if you want a security analysis textbook. And I've previously done a book review on security analysis, so feel free to search through this playlist and check it out. But for 100 to 1 in the stock market, it's kind of more about convincing you, the investor, that buying the right stocks and holding on is the best way to be really profitable in the stock market. It's really about kind of discussing the ideas, the theory, and the underlying factors for why buying the right stocks at the right price and holding them for a long time could really be the best way to build the most profitable portfolio. And it's interesting. There are a lot of kind of, like pieces of advice or, almost like kind of like tips for success, sort of like little nuggets of information peppered throughout the book that are really reminiscent of Warren Buffett. It's like really fascinating that this book was published in 1971, and yet there are lessons in it that are really similar to kind of the conclusions reached in books like The New Buffettology or the Warren Buffett Way to Investing, which were published, much later, sort of 2008, 2010, even 2012. So this book, after reading it, I can really see why it was in such high demand for so long, because the ideas, the kind of thinking behind this approach, really are proven. Of course, the caveat is, can you buy the right stocks and can you hold on to them? It can be really tempting to sell stocks when they go down in price after you've bought them. How do you know your analysis is in fact correct and the stock will resume its upward trajectory? And to be honest, the book doesn't have all the answers. Again, it's not an investment analysis book. It's more about giving you advice to help you reach your full potential as a long-term oriented investor. And there are certainly actionable parts to the book. I did take a lot of notes on the end about, on the final page here about, references throughout the book about, why relative earnings are important, what how you need to think about multiple expansions and expectations of investors. And there are all sorts of these actionable pieces of advice that will really augment a foundation in security analysis. And the book will really help you think about how to be successful in the stock market overall. So if that sounds interesting to you, I really encourage you to check out 100 to 1 in the stock market. If you're a little, kind of unsure of your own financial analysis, foundation, let's say, I would say maybe check out The Intelligent Investor first, or, just get up to speed with financial analysis and financial statements, and that'll help you apply the lessons in this book a lot more. As a standalone book, it's really entertaining to read. Actually, the author is quite tongue-in-cheek, very modest. Since it was published 40 years ago, there are all sorts of great idioms and expressions that you don't hear today that are sure to make you smile. So, I highly recommend it. But just know, I think this book would be of most value to people who already have some understanding of kind of the process of financial analysis, because that's something that it sort of glosses over. So I just want to point that out so you don't buy it for the wrong reasons. But with that in mind, if you're still curious, I certainly encourage you to click the link underneath this video, take you through to stockideas.org, and from there you can read a much more in-depth book review. You can click through to Amazon and see the reviews there and see if this new edition of 100 to 1 in the stock market is the right book for you. Thanks very much for watching. Please feel free to subscribe for more investing video book reviews, and don't forget to visit stockideas.org. Thanks very much.